Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Blind. Back to continuing the main scenario quest. Apparently there's gonna be tendrils. Slightly concerning. Up and on, how's it going? Tendrils of intrigue. Gonna get some dip. And some bunnies. Or one of them, technically. Except, I was eager to hear Hiller's report on the IV. Okay. Figuring out all the stuff out here. After we let the other person go. Yeah. Anyways. Captain Ilbert, your report, if you will. Aye, Commander. Firstly, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say the man could tell us naught that we did not already know of Shiva. We have since handed him over to the Asgardian authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Our inquiries concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We've ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquired their information on the shipment routes. Go on. If you'll recall the flame we first identified as being in the Ivy's employ, from him we were able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end. Fearing that the investigation had been compromised, we took the necessary step of detaining all suspected of conspiracy. There were 5 on our list, including a flame stationed at Revenant's Toll. The man's primary duty was to keep an inventory of donations from abroad, the particulars of which he would share with benefactors, thereby ensuring that needs did not go unfulfilled. By virtue of his role, he was privy to the details of all shipments bound for the settlement. Needless to say, that included those originating from House Forthouse. He knew the precise route the caravan would take, and he sold that information to a merchant. I think I can guess which one. Yep. None other. With a little encouragement, he soon confessed to knowingly aiding and abetting the heretics. Well, that's one mystery solved at least. What are the Ivy? Are we any closer to prizing off his mask? I dare say we are, Commander. Our relentless pursuit has forced him to commit a grave error. In a desperate bid to cover his tracks, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available only to high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. We consider then that our investigation is known to barely a handful of them. The field of suspects is greatly narrowed. You mean to say that the agent is among Raban's innermost circle? Someone who has been with him since the Immortal Flames' establishment. It is the most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork for the act being laid beforehand. To slip into a position of authority unremarked and remain above suspicion all these years. Aye, I too was surprised. There really should not have been. Of the 3 grand companies, Oldaz was ever the more vulnerable to infiltration. Both Linza, Luminsa, and Gridania had long-standing armed forces that lent themselves well to the formation of the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder. To all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones, mind, under the same leadership, only the banner was different. Not so the Flames. Oldaz's military was made up of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies that answered only to their own paymasters. Hardly an ideal environment in which to establish something as high-minded as a grand company. The difficulties Raban faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he had convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the cost, there remained the small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Indeed. And given the pressing nature of the Imperial threat, that meant recruiting every passing sellsword. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company. A good deal easier than now, aye. The Immortal Flames have ever been caught between conflicting interests, the public and the private. Though the monetarists ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, it was not out of charity that they did so, but simple self-preservation. Had Nilvan Narcis's ambitions been any less apocalyptic, you may be sure that they would never have risked supplying Ravon with an army. 'Tis but a wonder they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Returning to the present. Even as we speak, our Doman allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames, any one of whom could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a blow against the Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from them ere long. Very good. Pray continue your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, we have the second attend to the unrest. The third can join the fourth in inspecting crystal shipments. If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If it is summoned in like manner to the other primals, the heretics will be looking for further supplies. Yep. Understood, Commander. Okay. I shall send word to Sir Emmerich, informing him of our success in identifying the heretics' abettors. Hopefully the information will be of some use to the Ishgardians. It is time, Commander. Yes, I'm aware. An emergency council of the Alliance leadership has been called. There have been developments in Romald, it would seem. As commander of the Crystal Braves, my presence has been requested. I would have you accompany me, Artik. As the realm's stoutest champion, it is only meant that you be present for the discussion. Oh, and the antecedent has already given her consent, lest you worry. That we can do. See what the situation's gonna be over there. It's gonna be a problem. Speak again. Like me, you are doubtless eager to conclude our business with Iceheart, but until another path to her sanctum is found, she will remain beyond our reach. Ophelia and the Archons are sparing no effort to secure an alternate route. Till such time as they succeed, I suggest we give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall go on ahead to Gridania in readiness for the coming council. Meet me at Nafika's altar. We shall make our way to the Lotus Stand together. Alright. Other problems, indeed. Never a shortage of those. To Gridania. Okay. Yeah, just having people keeping an eye on all the crystals. Trying to have those all grouped together in some primals and etc. Oh boy. Really should have tried a little bit harder to stop them before they got away the previous time, but yeah, whatever. I'm sure everything's gonna be fine. Okay. Good teleport here. Foundry skill. Well, that'll do nicely. That will do nicely. Wonder if we have any new problems at this emergency meeting. Or just all the current problems. We will see. We will see. Moving on. Ilburn. My thanks for coming, Artik. When you're ready, speak with the conjurer yonder. She'll show us to the Lotus Stand. Yep. The Alliance leaders await you at the Lotus Stand. We'll be joining them now? Yep.
Change has come to the Garlean Empire, and we must discuss the implications.
The rumors are true, then? The War of Succession is ended?
It is. A new emperor reigns in Garlemald.
Who?
The birth and all too rapid expansion of the Garlean Empire is commonly attributed to the strategic brilliance of Solus Zosgalvis, yet he did not rule alone. Several members of the royal household also distinguished themselves during his reign. Nevertheless, it was the eldest son who stood to inherit the throne, until his most untimely passing.
I thought us fortunate when I learned that the Emperor had died without naming a successor.
Would that the Garlean Empire had died with him.
'Twas the grandson and his uncle who had the strongest claims, was it not?
Indeed, yet claims count for little without the power to assert them. High Legatus Varus Ye Galvus is a respected military leader, not so his uncle.
So young Varus has torn the crown from his uncle's grasp and taken his place at the head of the Empire.
Given the troubled nature of his succession, the new emperor will require time to seal his grip on power. Yet have no doubt but that he shall, for there are none left with strength enough to oppose him.
Since the success of Operation Archon, the remnants of the 14th Legion and the forces occupying Alamigo have done naught but fortify their positions. But you can be sure they'll be ready to march on us again, if their Emperor gives the word.
When, not if. They say this Varus was so set upon Eorzean annexation that he spoke out against the Meteor Project.
Plainly, the new emperor's intentions are of great concern to us all. I propose that we set aside the Cartano dispute for the present, and discuss what measures the Alliance might take to prepare for a resumption of hostilities with Garlemald. Moreover, I move that we re-examine the question of how our former allies in Ishgard might be persuaded to retake their place at our side. Could Eorzea but stand as one, 'twould deal a grave blow to our enemies' ambitions.
Would be helpful.
Well, I suppose we should be grateful that they have finally acknowledged the inevitability of Imperial attack. Who knows? They may even do something about it. If only the leaders of Ishgard would follow their example and stop hiding behind their gates, praying for the coming storm to pass them by. But that is a discussion for another time. At present, I am more concerned by the fact that the Alliance's mooted preparations will be made known to the Garleans many moons before their coming. So long as the Ivy eludes our grasp, no secret is safe.
Not a good time for planning all the strategy. It will not have escaped your notice that the nations of Eorzea are no nearer to being of one purpose, despite their protestations to the contrary. Plainly, the threat of a resurgent Garlemald is not enough to stir them. And the reason for this, deeper mistrust amongst the citizenry. The nation's leaders can come to all the understandings they like, but their unity means little and less to the common folk. Take the Limousin's, for instance. Though Admiral Murib outlawed piracy over a decade ago, foreigners still picture the nation as a haven for grog-swilling, wooden-legged cutthroats. Likewise, the Gridanians are marked as hermits who talk to trees, and the Old Hans scorned as swindlers who worship coin. Not that such sentiments are entirely without grounds, of course. Take that pillar of Old Hans society, Helideji Adeleji, for example. Well, that is beside the point. The fact is that people are wary of outsiders, whether they have cause to be or not. On that basis, one could argue that the conflict at Cardno is a necessary evil. Each nation has its own warmongering faction that advocates the acquisition of Omega. In order to placate them, we present them something resembling warfare, and thereby curb their appetite for full-scale combat. But enough idle musing, let us speak of a more pressing matter, the Ivy. Since we spoke at the observatorium, Captain Ilbert has further shortened his list of suspects, and by happy coincidence, the one he deems the most likely candidate has lately come to Gridania. The hunt nears its end, Arctic. All that remains is to corner our quarry. Seek out Ilbert near the Adder's Nest. He will give you the particulars. Should there be any developments in Kurthus, you may be sure that I will send word without delay. In the meantime, wish you success in apprehending the Ivy. Okay. That would be helpful. Is it over here? Look enough just for this way. Other side of town. Okay. So it definitely sounds like another wave of attempted invasion is pretty much guaranteed here. I don't expect them to have a change of heart by any means. It does not seem like something they would do. What do you got here? Judgment, bolts, and lightning. And investigating the resurgence of a primal. Is this like hard mode? That guy? Continue to not worry about that. My thanks for coming, Scion. Doubtless the commander has informed you we have unmasked the Ivy. Potentially. From this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. Fireball. Alright, what do we get? Options here. At a 110 item level bids here. Look at what we currently have for bodies. I'm level 90 bard shirt here. Their dexterity. It says this is strength. Strength and dexterity, I guess. I have 32, Vitality of 41. It's definitely better. Take that for the bard set, I guess. Why not? Get a more magical one in the next quest to replace our sorcerer's coat. That'll be good. Oh. And a little bit of XP. Sure. Chasing Ivy. The bear is convinced that he has discovered the Ivy's identity and is preparing to move against the Guardian Spy. Alright. Let's get it. Listen well. The spy we have been seeking all this time is none other than Flame Marshal Lin Royal. Ramon's second in command. Prior to joining the Immortal Flames, she was a mercenary of no small renown. They say her skill with a polearm had to be seen to be believed. Of Ishgardian birth, she is the highest ranked foreigner in the Immortal Flames, bearing the Flame General himself, of course. When he formed the Grand Company, Ramon chose people based on their worth. Once they hailed was of no interest. The Monterists saw things differently, however. Having funded the enterprise, they reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranking positions. And it was no secret that they did not favor foreigners, Ishgardians especially, after the way the Holy See forsook the Alliance. Yet the Monterists did not raise so much as a murmur of protest when Riley was appointed to her post. Passing strange, is it not? Could it be that the Ivy has some hold over the Monterists? Yes, I'm very hidden. But these revelations are secondary to our current mission. Of foremost interest to us is Royal's presence here now. As you may be aware, it is the duty of the Flame Marshal to command the Immortal Flames in the absence of the Flame General. While Ramon intended the Council of Alliance Leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has no business being in Gridania, yet here she is nonetheless, on some pretense. She's up to something, mark my words. Even as we speak, I have a dozen men trawling the Flames records for evidence of Rel's guilt. If we can catch her red-handed, we shall have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have people watching the city gates, the airship landing, and the docks, every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. All there is to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Can I rely upon your eyes, Scion? Indeed. I'm very stealthy. You have my thanks. Let us go then. Take care not to alert our quarry. Alright. We've followed around and found other people sneaking about. We'll see. Huh. Supposed to be here. Speak with Lord. Must accept it. Will has headed in the direction of the Blue Badger Gate with me, Scion. Are we talking in or right here? Walking through town. We're getting there. So, Leia's entered the Carline Canopy, meeting someone perchance. Or could it be she means to board an airship? Pray look for her within. She's down the upper floor, try the landing area below. One of mine is stationed there. She may have seen something. Ethne is her name. I shall remain here in case Riley escapes. Reappears. Comes this way. Alright. Not here? Question mark? Downstairs maybe? Assuming things are actually spawning in. Yep, there you are. Not seeing them around. What did you see? Artaxin! Such an unexpected pleasure. What brings you here? Ahem. A social visit, you say? How pleasant! No, she didn't come this way. I ignored every passenger and none bore any resemblance. Well, don't let me keep you. And with that information, they went into a room here. They have a whole inn going on. It does narrow it down slightly, doesn't it? Okay. Nowhere to be seen, you say? And you were sure she did not board an airship? She not come back out either. Where in the seven hells could she have gone? The roost, how could I forget? Of course. Peddler. Greetings, good sir. Might I interest you in some one-time tonic? A cup a day imbues a man with great vigor, if you take my meaning. Perhaps another time, friend. Wait. That necklace. You are a shinobi of Doma. The woman you seek has left Gridania by way of West Shore Pier. She was attired as a merchant, but these eyes are not so easily deceived. You may wish to take your search to the East Shroud. Rest assured that we shall continue to support you from the shadows. Paint the 12 for the Domans. Were it not for their unique talents, really would have disappeared without a trace. Alright. So vitality, mind, intelligence. Item comparison. More. It's got crit and determination instead of spell speed and direct hit rate. Good enough. Which of these is the most important? I don't know. I'll take it though. Mind, piety, no. Oh. We're definitely gonna have a little more holes, little gaps in our equipment for the other sets here, but you know, it's something. I go in here, of course it did. We got too many bodies again. Regular thing. This is level 27. This has some materia in it. Hello. Okay. How's that looking? Good enough? Good enough. You know, all these one-time foods here. I have to deal with that at some point here. Anyways, let us recommend the new Even Star coat. 10. Yeah, 120. 110 here for the Even Star gloves. Those are gonna make Even Star boots. We have partially demon, partially Even Star. No set bonuses or anything, so that's fine. And it's also again trying to put on the horse ring for some reason. New coat. Definitely a different look. More vitality, more intelligence. More crit. It's supposed to be instead of direct hit. Or is this the better one? Less crit. More intelligence. Bigger number. Put that. Okay. I'll take the gear set. Looking absolutely wild here. Okay. It doesn't... Everything doesn't quite match. Because it is, again, still two different sets. But good enough. I suppose that also means that we really have no need for the Sorcerer's Coat at this point. Worse in every way? Worse. Vitality, worse that. Worse other things, just worse. We just don't have space for a bunch of things we don't need. Tabard, the Bard shirt. That's still part of that set. Or I guess it's not. Tabard might be part of that set. Let us gear sets Bard. Okay. And then recommend. We got a new coif here, which is 110. Got new earrings. We got this. We got a much better bracelet. Do this. What's all those? Not a fan of this one, huh? No comparison. So we got more dexterity, more vitality, More crit hit. Determination. Why would you not choose this? I swear sometimes. Got a whole system here that selects the equipment and just ignores stuff sometimes for some reason. Higher item level, higher dexterity, higher vitality, higher critical hit. It's got determination instead of direct hit. Is that... does more damage, and then direct hit is slightly more damage than normal hits. Okay, so it's try on. Wait, look. Does it not work for... okay, there's the problem. Progrog Magmin Separate doesn't work for... alright. Well, that answers that question, I suppose. So, I'm gonna... Black Mage. Black Mage. It's got all kinds of good stats, but it doesn't work for here. Alright, fine. I'll be used for one of those other ones, I suppose. Unless we already have the 110s for that, but... anyways. There we are. Yep. Just be striking. Maybe one of the other ones would have worked. We have a 110 helmet. That's pretty much the only piece that's actually been usable that we've gotten through here. To be more looking at exactly the pieces and what they are good for. Anyways, back to the Black Mage, which is the highest out here. We'll probably get rid of some of the old jewelry for various things too. Technically an option. We still have a, I guess, 100. Only green. Yeah, whatever. In Vacante Lectum, the bear is eager to resume the pursuit of Eileen Royle. Let's continue the pursuit. Our hunt leads us to the East Shroud, Zion. I suggest we follow Royle's example and take the ferry from West Shore Pier. The doubtless wish to make certain preparations. See them while I go on ahead. I shall wait for you at Sweet Bloom Pier. Yeah. He is crossed there already. Further that way. Let me teleport here. West Shore Pier. Near the Lancers Guild. That'll work. And then we just take the ferry. To Sweet Bloom Pier. Yep. There we go. That gets us to the East Shroud at least. Well, that's where we're going. The tracking continues. This way, my friends. Yugiri! We definitely use some help here. Appreciate it. Your quarry makes for the Hawthorne Hut. If Rael is truly the one we seek, we expect that she means to make contact with her Garlean masters there. An explanation is in order. You are no doubt aware the Garleans have their own method of communicating over great distances, while our ingenious friends at Garland Ironworks have provided us with devices which disrupt these communications. We have installed them around the city-states, In so doing, we have made it difficult for Imperial agents to correspond with their masters. Raleigh would thus have no choice but to rendezvous with her Imperial contact directly. Yet, as a well-known face in the Immortal Flames, she cannot move about Thanalan without being recognized. It would only be a matter of time before someone saw through her disguise. It is for this reason, I believe, that she had chosen the Black Shroud for her clandestine meetings. The Uzen are a common sight here, and her comings and goings are not like to turn any heads. As my scouts tell it, the Garleans have sent agents with a mind to destroy the devices and render such direct contact unnecessary. Fortunately, our shinobi have thus far been successful in rebuffing their efforts. This is it. We need only make for Hawthorne's hut and catch Renella in the act. Okay. Let's get it. Hut. Let's go through here. Let's teleport. Spend some of our money. That's also good. Okay. Disrupting communication. Very helpful. Very cool. My people report that our quarry has departed for the Bramble Patch. Avery returns to the Gnarls whence she came. Perhaps it is all for the better. To convict someone of her standing will require damning evidence against her. What could be better than to catch her in the act when she meets with her Garlean masters? Very good. My countrymen and I shall lie in wait in the shadows. Tread warily, my friends. Okay. Into the Bramble Patch. Right over here. Gonna fly on in. Just beyond, Riley is in conversation with an individual clad in the manner of an adventurer. An Imperial intermediary, no doubt. This is it. With me. Let's get in there. Flame Marshal, Eileen Orley, you are under arrest for treason and espionage. You were followed, you bloody fool. I don't think so. Damnation. You've got you surrounded. You are unarmed, my lady, and scarcely garbed for battle. If you wish to fight, you are welcome to try. What is the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the Twelveswood? When last I looked, there was no crime, neither was conversing with passing strangers. You would feign ignorance, then. Very well. If you do not think of something to say, there will be plenty of time to say it later. Now come quietly, or I shall make you wish you had. I will offer you no struggle. After all, I have naught to hide. Not even a giant fight. There you go. Even a warrior of Will's renown could not have hoped to escape by force. Despite her claims, her surrender does not bespeak innocence, but an awareness that her position is untenable. With the ivy thus uprooted, it is to be hoped that the tendrils she entwined around the immortal flames will gradually wither and die. Mayhap then the people of Oda will have the grand company they deserve. Let us speak of the present. If I may ask, what will you do now, Arctic? I will go back, do stuff. So signs seek a way into Iceheart's sanctum. And I dare say you are eager to return to the Rising Stones. Pray do not let me keep you. Fear not, my countrymen and I shall tend to the aftermath. You need not waste your talents here. And speaking of talents, if you considered training the art of the shinobi, you have the aptitude for it, I believe. So please give it some thought. Till next time, my friend. Seems to be a possibility. Go speak with Minfilia. Finish this up. I have to see where Yukiri shows up to actually teach us these things. It's an option. It's an option. Not yet. It's gonna be an option. Potentially. As if we didn't have enough other classes to also still work on, but yep, it's fine. Plenty to do. Okay. Man. One problem. Presumably dealt with here. I'll take that. I'll take it. Seemed pretty solid proof there. Also, an idea for getting into Iceheart's area. Fire on the big ice wall. Eh? It could work. I don't know. Anyways. Minfilia. Let's go. Welcome back, Arctic. I understand that Afanad had a task for you. May I ask what it was? Oh, you know, just ruin out conspiracies and all that. Charges of treason and espionage against Royal. I can scarce believe it. Could there not have been some manner of misunderstanding? No, it avails us not to dwell on it. Whatever the truth may be, we must trust to the authorities to uncover it. Let's speak of another matter. Please report that we have made progress in our efforts to find a way into Iceheart's sanctum. Very good. Please, never been one to hesitate when it comes to asking others for aid. A simple plan to get into that sanctum and deal with Iceheart and eventually get some inroads with Ishgard and all that, but we'll worry about that next time. Goodbye.